Yo.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone rule well. And salutations to the brother on the four corners of the earth, pushing word and truth and sincerity. There's a lot of commotion going on in the news concerning the forefront of 2020, man. You know, like the apostles have coined this is the year of prophecy. Right. And there are prophecies coming to pass that the church and the evangelicals are trying to take advantage of, man. You know, these prophecies are coming to pass, such as the beginnings of what you call World War III. You know, what we know is the Valley of Josaphat in the Bible, man, in the scriptures. You know, you got guys trying to take advantage of this opportunity to try and amass followers and to you know, come across as true prophets when they're not, man. They're false. Because there are things that are written in the book that they can't break down, man. That only the true men of the Lord can break down. Such as why there's a culmination in World War III. You know, what's happening with the RFID chip. You got guys that think that this is the end of the world, man. You got people that think that the end of the world is it is around the corner, but people think the end of the world is gonna be next week, man. You know, when the news came out that that Iran had declared so-called war on America, which now they say they could declare war on Trump. You know, because America assassinated Soleimani. You know, people thought the end of the world was gonna be now. They thought the world war was gonna start tomorrow, man. But that's not true. You know, the scripture said the end is not yet. And there are a lot of prophecies that have to come to pass in the midst of now and the full-on war, you know, which is the war to end all wars, man. Read that Habakkuk, guy.
2:1.
Habakkuk 2:1.
It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. Yes. And we'll watch to see what he will say.
Yeah, so we're standing upon our watch and watching on the tower, man. When you have sentries standing on top of a tower, you know, whether they have bows and arrows, sniper guns, or binoculars, they're watching for something, you know. As they're watching for enemies, we're watching for the prophecies, man. You know, we're not watching for enemies coming up on the horizon, we're watching for the prophecies coming up on the horizon, you know. And as they're coming, we're here to alert you that they're coming, man. Go ahead.
And say it to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Yeah, what shall I answer when I am reproved, which is nothing. You know, because the scriptures are for exhortation and rebuke, man. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Yeah, so you write the vision and make it plain upon tables. So that people, so when it says that they may run that readeth it, that they understand, man. You know, when you take something and you run with it, meaning you grab it, and you take hold of it wholly. You know, go ahead.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Right, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Which this is the point here. You know, because people think that the world, that either the world war or the prophecy is going to happen tomorrow, or it should have happened a decade ago, or you know, 20 years ago, man. You got people out there that saying, oh, this has been being said since I was a kid. You know, my grandparents been saying that the end of the world was coming and that the Lord was going to come back and all of that, man. You know, but it's for an appointed time, meaning that the Lord has a specific time for these prophecies to come to pass. You know, this event has to happen after another culmination of events, man. You know, let me get Matthew 24. So, and that's what time is. Time is a sequence of events. You know.
24, 34.
No, start 24:1.
Okay.
So the master's journey.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples...
Start at 4.
Start at 4? Salah. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Right.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach.
So it says, take heed that no man deceive you, because many shall come in my name, saying I am the Christ, man. Why? Because there are going to be things that come to pass in the last days that they're going to capitalize on, man. Oh, I see World War III brewing. You know what? Let me get out there with the Bible and try to speak what I know so I can amass followers, so I can make money. You know, 'cause that's what all society's about nowadays, is making money. You know. Go ahead.
It's a precept to that. But I get it.
Go ahead.
It's it says, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many.
Yeah, and saying I am Hamashiach, shall deceive many. You got guys amassing cults now, saying that they're Christ, man. You know, they had a show on Netflix called Messiah, am I right?
Yeah.
But you got a guy in Brazil that looked just like him. I think this is a couple years ago, and he was saying that he was the second coming.
Yep.
You know,
I know. Yep. I know.
You had guys like Jim Jones. You got guys that are amassing these cult followings based off of the prophecies in the Bible and taking advantage of you know, people's naivety in their belief systems. You know, so you're gonna see a lot of that nowadays because the scriptures say in the last days perilous times shall come, and there shall be lovers of their own selves. Man. You know, so that's exactly what you're starting to see. And if you don't see it now, you're gonna see a hell of a lot more of it, man. You know, go ahead.
I just read the scripture last night when the Lord said that there's gonna be false pastors and preachers, right?
Yeah.
But his sheep will not hear them.
Yeah, and another reason why his sheep won't hear him because he's not going to speak prophecy. He's not going to know how to speak prophecy. He's not going to know how to break down prophecy. You know, matter of fact. What's your question, man?
I want to know the simple messages. I've been seeing you guys for like a year plus, just hanging out
Okay.
from there.
So, what do you think the message is?
Well, I kind of got it from him, kind of did. That there's more your root background from Israel, and there's just a lot more places, and a lot more history behind your origin story, I guess.
And
it's includes Israel.
Did you read the side of the curse?
Right. It's just a bunch of.
No, it's not. Read it.
Like actually in order, Judah.
Read it. Judah.
Negroes.
The Negroes. So this side is the true names of the people. These are the true names of these tribes. You know. And on the left, these are the names that have been given to us throughout history. You know. So this is
these actual names of the tribes?
Yes. These are of the whole nation of Israel. And the whole nation. The nation of Israel, Jacob had 12 sons, right? Mm-hmm. And those 12 sons are the progenitors of their own original tribe.
That's right.
And on this side are the proverbs and bywords, the names that we have been called throughout history, that we are labeled as. Mm-hmm. So what you're looking at here is basically this sign is saying that the so-called Jews of Israel aren't the true Jews of the Bible. That these people on this side, the blacks, and Native Americans, are the true Jews of the Bible. We can prove that through scripture and history and geography.
So in the Bible is it on the left-hand side, or yeah, the Bible is on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
but these are all connected to those things.
Exactly.
So what's the controversy? Admittedly, I don't know.
The controversy is that, do you see us in Israel right now?
No.
Exactly, that's the controversy. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. That's controversy. We have been kicked out of our land. Now this goes back thousands of years.
Can't you go back to Israel?
Yeah, we can go back to Israel. If I can get on the plane and get a passport and go back to Israel, but that's not going to change anything. The reason being is because our whole nation can't go back to Israel. Right. Read that real quick.
68?
Yep.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Matter of fact, read verse 15. So there's prophecies in the scriptures, like we were just talking about. There are prophecies in the scriptures that basically one is going to befall the nation of Israel in the last day, that they did not adhere to the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. If they did not hear the word of the Most High. So this actually, us being in America, not being in Israel, is actually a curse. Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so because we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments written in the Bible, which is way more than 10 or 600. You know, it's over 613 laws.
That's right.
So because we broke the law, and one of the main laws that we broke were worshiping false gods of the other nations, we were cursed, right? Read one of the curses, verse 68.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And it reads, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Well, we're not seeing it again. It's actual place Israel.
And it said in Egypt again with ships, right? Now, when you look into the history of the Israelites, they were in slavery in Egypt, right? Now, how did they leave Egypt?
By ships.
No. They walked from Egypt to Israel. Even now, you can walk from Egypt to Israel.
Yeah.
You know? Now, and if you notice, now you have to take a boat across the Red Sea, of course. But before, what happened was they walked into the Red Sea and walked across. Because Moses split, right? So now they said they'll go back to Egypt again with ships. Now, like the brother broke down, Egypt means bondage. So, is there any record in history of the Israelites ever going back to Egypt? The physical landmass of Egypt.
So,
there is none. And so, now if the brother told you that Egypt means bondage, Egypt comes from the Greek word Egyptos, which means bondage. Where did we become slaves? With ships.
Well, the only thing I really know is about the Europe, shipping slaves here.
Exactly. That's all there is to it. You know. I mean, there were other slave trades and diasporas too. You had the Western Pacific Ocean for slave trade as well. But all that started culminating from this curse right here.
So you gave me something to Google, 12 tribes of Israel. I'm just trying to get a little more context. I see you guys live here, so
Yeah, no problem.
If
you ever got questions?
This is a way more complicated topic than I thought it would be. I thought it would be something like, oh, we're free the slaves or free something.
No, it is free. It is free. We're waiting for our salvation from our Lord.
Okay.
Hey, what's your nationality?
Indian.
Indian?
Yeah, from India. My parents came from Hyderabad.
You know,
Elamites don't usually inquire, but you know,
He might.
still be. He
gave
just
me
might
advice
just.
when he came up. You know, I kind of came like, and I kind of like brushed him off. He kept inquiring, so I'm like, okay, let me engage him.
Yeah, you know how people be like, man, I see them niggas over there all the time. What the fuck they doing? But, you know,
I got a preset for
go
you.
ahead.
It's the book of, back in Deuteronomy 28 and 37. It says, to add to your point earlier about the proverbs and bywords, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee.
Yeah, so of all nations, you got the tribe of Judah. In England, they still calling them Negroes, man.
Yep.
You know?
Everywhere they are.
Yeah, everywhere we are, man. We still get called Spics and Gooks and I mean not Spics and Gooks, but Spics and Uncle Tomahawks and drunken Indians and you know all the above, man. Especially since Donald Trump became president. the whole world calls us biracial slurs, man, or derogatory slurs. Go ahead.
social constructs. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not shew you favor. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like, what that sound like to y'all? American, you know? What we over here doing? Hey, ain't no favor being shown to us, you know? And you think about, like, we in Wisconsin. They say Milwaukee's the worst city for the African American male.
So
This right, it proves there ain't no favor being shown to our people. No matter where we go in America, across the world.
Yeah, because we're always going to be on the bottom of the totem pole. That's another indicator that we're the Israelites, man.
yeah, Salaki, they got hoods and ghettos everywhere, man. They got hoods and ghettos in Japan, man.
Yeah. Oh man, he said he's an Elamite. Damn, I wanted to ask him about the Punjabi in India, man, because they're as dark skinned as we are, man. You know, and they treat them like they put them in the ghettos and treat them like so-called Negroes, man.
You know, that's why I actually like when he came up, I was like, and then he could ask a question.
Yeah.
He might be.
You know, Jake's stubborn as hell. You know, but he has something to do.
He didn't have like, you know what I'm saying? No, you know how Jake come up, they be hostile or they, you know. No, he actually came like sincere.
Yeah.
You know, actually wanted to know.
Yeah, he actually wanted to know. You know, he actually wanted to know, and that's the thing too. Our people were scattered all over the world, man. You know.
Hey, that's why I had you slide real quick.
Go ahead.
That's why I had this one. This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15.
There we go.
the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Moreover, son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel and his companions. And take the other stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim and all of his house. Sorry, and all of the house of Israel and his companions.
Yeah, so what that scripture describing is a culmination of the 12 tribes chart, man. No matter how you other Israelite groups try to debunk it, you know what I'm saying? No matter how you try to say, oh, there's nothing in the scripture that say you're supposed to have a sign that indicates the tribes. Look, this tells you that takes a stick and put it together for both houses, man. The house of Israel and the house of Judah. So what do you think that is, man? It has to be an indicator. It has to be a sign. What do you do when you have a stick, right? You put it in the ground. You put a flag on it to indicate something. And that's what this is, a stick in the ground, and it's a flag that indicates who the 12 tribes of Israel are now today.
That's right, man.
Go ahead.
It's time.
Hello. And join them together, one unto another, and join them together one to the other, unto one stick.
Yep, so you join them together one to another into one stick. So you take two sticks, you take some twine and some rope, and you tie them together to create one huge stick. You know? And symbolizes the tribes coming back together. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in thy hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest?
Right. Wilt thou not show thou what thou meanest? Meaning, what do you mean by this? You know, what's on that sign? That's the first question he said. I said, have you seen this before? He said, no, I was trying to read it. What does it say? Well, this is the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is who they are, and do you agree with this? And we can break it down to you.
It's like verse 19, and he said unto me, he said unto them, thus said the Lord thy power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph.
Better?
It's a lot.
Shit. It's lucky.
That was a good catch, though.
Yeah.
I'm put it in my pocket.
This is verse 19. It says, behold, verse 19, it says, say unto them, thus said the Lord thy power, behold, I will take a stick for Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Israel and his fellows, and I will put them with him, even the stick of Judah, and make them one stick. And they shall be one in my hand.
Yeah, and they shall be one in his hand.
And the sticks,
so they'll no more be scattered.
And the sticks whereon thou writest, thou shalt be in thy hand before thy eyes. Keep going.
That's it. Let me get that 2 Kings 17:24. Because now what you see is you have the so-called Negroes who started the tribe of Judah, you have the so-called Puerto Ricans who started the tribe of Ephraim, and so forth and so on. Well, now how did they get to where they were? You know, we talked about the transatlantic slave trade with the so-called Negroes, you know, Haitians, and the so-called West Indians. You know, so what happened to the rest of the tribes? What happened to the Northern Kingdom? You know, because you got guys out there saying that the Northern Kingdom is not a part of Israel. And I'm talking about Foki, you know? I'm talking about Foki, and everybody agrees with Foki, man. You know? You got guys still out there spewing madness saying that we are not Israelites. And I take that very personally. Because I'm a Gada. You can't tell me I'm not an Israelite. That doesn't even make sense to me. I get very offended. Go ahead.
This is 2 Kings 17:24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon.
Now that king of Assyria is Tiglath-Pileser III, man. And this is documented history. You know, Tiglath-Pileser III and King Shalmaneser V. Go ahead.
Brought men from Babylon unto Cathareth and Ava, and from Ava from and from Hamath, and from what's that? Sepharvaim, and planted them in the cities of Samaria.
So you had Assyria, which was the global empire at that time, the global power. They came and they pillaged the land of Samaria, man, which is where the northern kingdom dwelt. You know, and they took us captive and placed Africans in that land. Go ahead.
And placed them in the cities of Samaria, near the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwellings there that they feared not the Lord.
Let me get because that's not exactly it. What? It is 2 Kings.
Split.
Yeah, I'm looking, well, not that. I'm looking for. There we go.
You said you look at
That's
2
like,
Kings.
grab that 2nd Ezra 13 and 39. Now I'll find it.
Which one you looking for? About when they came through the river?
Yeah. Oh, I found it. Never mind. 17 and 17 and 1. Fuck it. Bible is trashed. Go ahead, Doc.
This is 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. In the 20th year of what's that? Azar?
Ahaz.
Ahaz,
Ahaz
right.
the king.
Ahaz, the king of Judah, begot Hoshea.
Hosea.
And the son of Elah to the region of Samaria, and over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the king of Israel that were before him.
Right, so he did evil in the sight of the Lord, man, meaning that he moved the nation of Israel to worship other gods. So now, going back to the curse in Deuteronomy 28, you know, that Israel didn't hearken unto the Lord. Now you got a curse that's going to come upon them, right? You know, and here's another version of that curse in verse 68 taking effect. Go ahead.
Verse 2, it says, and he said, and he did unto them, did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the king of Israel that were before him, against his cat, Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
Shalmaneser the fifth, king of Assyria, right?
Hoshea became his servant and gave presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he has sent messengers to kings of Egypt, and he brought no presents to the king of Assyria.
Yeah, basically what Hosea did was he sent presents to the king of Egypt and not the king of Assyria. Go ahead.
And he had done year by year. Therefore the kings of Assyria shut him up and brought him and bound him in prison.
Yeah, so basically Hosea was being a tributary to Egyptians and the Assyrians. And what he did was he was sending presents to the Assyrians and to the Egyptians, and the Assyrians felt betrayed by this. So what they did was they took Hosea and put him in prison. Go ahead.
And the kings of Assyria came up through all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
So they went up to Samaria where the northern kingdom dwelt, and they besieged Samaria for 3 years. And then what they did was they took the northern kingdom captive, man, you know, and brought us to Assyria. Go ahead.
It says, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away as away unto Assyria, and placed them in Halua in the harbor by the river of Gaza.
River of Gaza.
Said Gozan.
And the cities of the Medes.
Yep, and the cities of the Medes.
Yeah, so we were taken away captive into Assyria, you know, where we dwelt until you read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter,